Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. So if you heard from the short, you already have a backstory. If not, our word was heard. And this could come out two different ways, like being herded, guided to uh, kind of given a negative sense, like into something, or being a part of the herd, which would be a group, jumping into a category out of fear, rejection, worry, depending on how this would reflect on us. How is the group going to see us if we're not a part of it? Jump on the bandwagon or you will be abandoned. We have uh, two supporting engine number cards that came out with that. Is we're looking at the keywords here. Big decision, obviously, going up against this, and connection. So uh, we don't know what the decision is or what it's related to, but is what's driving the decision, getting on that bandwagon, being a part of that group. If Hold on one second, sorry about that. So being a part of that group, what does it mean? Does it mean something to you, like this connection? Is that connection, what is that connection doing for you? Or are we more worried about uh, not being a part of that group, having a different view, thinking something differently, and being ridiculed or rejected, made fun of, banished, not part of anything because we have a different view? And uh, maybe we want the connection, but it won't work with our view or how we feel. We won't be able to be true to ourselves. We have to suppress ourselves, hold things back. It could be small, it could be drastic. Uh, I often say, not that we're getting deep into this, it's just a referencing point, but think of the two political parties, and maybe I would think the majority of people probably don't agree with everything that one party agrees with, but it's closest to what is they believe in or feel, because everything is so drastic and polar opposites that uh, they're forced to agree with other aspects than what's really true to them, but it's closest to what they may feel. That if you went in there and you didn't agree with something, you wouldn't fit in. You would be ridiculed, or however we want to look at it. Look at this in friend groups. You could just use spiritual community. Uh, the very interesting aspect of that is everyone has a different experience, a different belief, and they can be very polar. They can be very opposite, very, uh, where's the word? Unexplainable of how everything fits together. And when that's good, we're going into identity now and looking at how if I just call myself something, I am it, I become it. That could be a spiritual title like this. I'm very limiting myself in this way. If I join that certain political group, I am limited. If I am a fan of this sports team, but maybe I like a player on another team, I can't root for them because I've devoted myself this way. It's very categorizing. When I present myself here, I don't call myself anything. And this isn't look at me, I'm just showing an example that if I did do that, and in my experience with energy and identifying and titling, same thing with our insecurities, our fears, our worries, all of this is, if I say I have anxiety, or I should say I'm experiencing anxiety, is a huge difference. Uh, so I leave that door open. I am open for anything. I'm not giving I am me. I am whatever is happening. I can be angry one second. I could be happy the next second. I am not allowing these emotions or titles or categorizing to consume me, to control me, to make decisions for me, to dictate what's going on. It doesn't mean I'm perfect. It doesn't mean anything like that. As I said before, I could go from angry to happy in a split second. We're not going to allow things to control us. This herd or being herded into a situation out of fear or worry of whether it's more internal or a reflection of how the external is going to think of us, gives them control. And also, if we have an insecurity connected to that, like, are they going to accept me? Am I going to be banished? Am I going to be alone forever, or rejected, or burn the witch kind of thing? Not saying it's related to that, but uh, rightfully so, how that experience went, it feels like that kind of a reflection on this situation. So that is a big decision. What do I do? Or should I forever uh, hold my peace? I don't know if that's how that saying goes. Uh, keeping to ourself about it. But this connection is probably something we want and is a fair thing to have. But is it worth giving yourself up uh, to be alone? I'm not saying you're going to be alone, but that might be the valid option. I mean, I should not like the visible option if we don't jump on the bandwagon, if we don't conform to the structure or the title or the way it's formed, which we can't. No one can. I mean, we're all different, and that's the tough thing about these categories. I'm having trouble talking. So, the Eight of Wands reversed. Stagnation. This first gave a feeling of making the decision, but I don't think it's like you got to sign the paper and you can never go back. It's not feeling like that. It's either uh, I want to be a part of this, but if I do, I kind of got to give up myself, and I don't think we're fully aware of it. It is like, I don't think we're doing a Venn diagram of it, pros and cons here. Maybe we are, but it's more like I want to be a part of something, but if we do to fit in, we we can't fully be ourselves. And by taking that action, there will also be that stagnation that will, like, cover us up. It's like throwing a cloak over yourself, and we can't breathe well. We can't be what we want. It's limiting. Two of Pentacles, equilibrium. This is being free. As you can see, her arms are open there. She can breathe. So obviously this is a general message, and if we really think about the situation, whether large or small, uh, the group, even just being viewed as following the milestones of society, relationships in general, doesn't have to be like 30,000 people. It could just be, a partner and doing things as society does them, uh, thinking that way, talking about those things, agreeing, keeping the peace in conversations by just going with what everybody else is saying, is limiting, and you're guaranteed to lose people or to stir the pot. A Seven of Swords, dishonesty. This is we are withholding our truth. We are withholding what is true. Uh, People don't say the truth because it's going to hurt people's feelings, and I get that. I did that a lot, and I guess I still do to an extent, but I think I word it so it's not just so straightforward, because that's enough to hurt people pretty easily. But if we don't say the truth, if we don't say, just like allowing somebody to blatantly uh, say, hey, this person did all this and that's why we're all in trouble at work, or whatever, and then the truth and we don't correct it, be like, no, that person didn't do that, it's because of you, or whatever, something like that. uh, I feel like that truth, but then we also have the truth of ourselves, that we have to be able to voice our opinion, and being afraid of that. Does it have anything to do with confrontation, getting into that aspect? But it's more rejection. There would be rejection there. So a lot of the things like I talk about here, and anybody like in public, they would I would trigger them, because that takes, if I said something and they asked and I told the truth of what I saw or what I felt during that experience, they would be triggered, because that would mean that they are responsible in some way for the pain or the suffering or the experience that they're having. And that means accountability. And no one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear it. You're doing this to yourself. No one wants to hear that, hey, maybe the way that you're thinking isn't benefiting this. And you're making decisions out of a wound versus, uh, and then you're having these shitty outcomes because you did it for the wound, because you're staying in that cycle and we're not leaving it. That's not going to go over well. That's not going to be an uplifting person. A lot of spirituality stuff is a lot of positivity, and it's, hey, we're so great and all these blessings are coming because you're a great person. And we stay in this space of hopium and all this excitement, and I'm so great because I'm pure light and all this stuff. But really, inside, we are in a lot of pain and holding ourselves back, because if I said something like I say here on my channel, no one's going to like that. No one's going to watch that. No one wants to take responsibility or accountability. That doesn't go over well, but if we think about 20 years and however old people are that are, in that spot, where do they get in 20 years? Are we still in that same positive aspect, hoping for all that stuff to come, but not really doing anything for ourselves? That's like this, like that's where I'm projecting my thoughts at. Where do we go? Do we actually make progress? And I think some do, and I think some don't. Uh, Obviously, it all depends. But what is the truth? Uh, well, the truth is whatever is true to you. That is the other aspect that I went back to, that everybody has a different view on everything, and everybody sees things differently or feels things differently or has different beliefs of this or that. And that doesn't have to just be limited to spirituality. That could be anything and everything in the world, every thought. And uh, that's why we don't fit in the herd. We can, but we're not ourselves ever. We can't be. It's getting to a place and surrounding yourself with people that can have open conversations and be okay with that, and don't need to be right, don't need to get you, or you don't need to have them believe what you believe. It's, we can talk about it openly and it be okay, and walk away and not be angry about it. But guess what might happen in that aspect? Someone might get a different perspective. Someone might see something differently that indirectly helps them through life. So holding back is a disservice to us and a disservice to them at times. And no, it's not our job to go out there and fix everybody in the way that uh, takes away from their process, of learning or healing. A lot of times we won't believe or see something until we finally decide to. People can show us all the proof we want, but we won't see it because we're not ready to, or we don't want to, because that would mean we'd have to take accountability. I don't know where that ramble went. We'll have to see how it looks when I watch it again. Queen of Wands reversed, excessive control. Uh, we can look at the herd mentality in general as a controlling mechanism. It is. Uh, that's more societal, but also like a cult-like feeling. Uh, there's anything to be put into a box is for control. How could it not be? You can't think this way. You can't say this. If you do, we're going to destroy your life. If you say something that goes up against our narrative, and that could be on a much larger scale, as I said, society, governing aspects, cult type aspects, that we got a guru and everyone feels their power and runs to them and completely and utterly gives themselves up because they see them in some sort of light when it's a very dark, dark situation. Now that's something we watch in movies or documentaries, but let's think of a paternal figure doing the same, of control over their family unit, the same thing in a friend group and or a romantic relationship, as well as work. A lot of this power hungry aspects. If we put you in a box, we can control you. You don't think outside. If you do, you will be, we'll destroy you. We will place fear. And this is where I'm sure I said it already, but becoming okay with being alone. And that's not to say that that's the outcome, but the fear of not being safe and protected, blanketed by the herd is being alone, being ridiculed, your reputation being destroyed. And I'm not saying we're saying anything drastic. Maybe we will. But if we really think about it, that is where the fear is. What is it that we're going to say that's going to disrupt that? And uh, if you have something really important to say that you damn well know is going to destroy everything, and people are going to come for you, you know, uh, you would have to be okay with being alone. You would have to be okay with being in your truth, being in your belief, and knowing that it is true, and knowing that there's a reason to say it. But if it is on a smaller scale, that is just you being you, and the idea that you might lose uh, so-called respect or understanding from friends and family and coworkers, well, fuck them, at that aspect, because the whole reason that you are small or have been kept small was because of them. And you've outgrown that space. This is normally what happens. And when we grow or expand, we're going to lose people. They're not going to fit. They're going to fit the old version, the old you. And maybe they wanted you to stay there because they liked that version because it was controllable. And same thing at work. I've put up with this for long enough. I've done this, and because if I did say something, it would make me look superior to my boss or the owner, whatever. I have more knowledge than you. And that threatens the system, the hierarchy, however it looks. Uh, it is making that decision to step outside of that box. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be flashy. It's just the truth. And depending on how long you've held it in, it might come out crazy or aggressive because inside you're screaming, and it's going to erupt. It needs to come out, whatever it may be. You need to be free. Page of Pentacles. Ambition. This energy here creates this freedom. Like this freedom creates a great drive within us. You feel free to do a lot of things. I often say uh, we make all those decisions out of not 100% connected to this message, but just for reference. If we have a wound or an insecurity or something, which I'm sure something along those lines is connected to here, but when that's inside, it's the loudest, and we're making these decisions in life based upon it to pacify it, to feed it, just like staying in the herd or keeping our mouth shut, no different. And once we're free of it, you're stepping into this new space, and it's like, wow, I could do this now. I always wanted to do this, but I never had the courage to do this or the confidence to. It's all these doors open now because we are free from this illusion that I was afraid of whatever the outcome of would be of me being myself or speaking openly. And yes, we may lose people, and there will be some ruckus, depending on the magnitude or the just simply being you and stretching your legs. But know that that was those people, those situations, those things we grabbed a hold of were for uh, our past self, our past version, and they don't fit anymore. So in return, there'll be room made for the new individuals that come in that would be your new herd if that's something that you're desiring. I'm going to leave this here. If this resonates, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later. See ya.